And there we are. Hello, hello, everyone. Very excited about this. Kai, you and I have the same sentiment here. Yay! Welcome, everyone. Fina here from Fina Reads. Today, with a larger interview group, you can see a lot of people here. We are specifically talking about Yearn, a new reading app specifically for romance, romance fantasy, romantasy, paranormal romance. Are there more words for that? Cozy fantasy? A new reading app that came out earlier this year. And everybody that is here with me, plus one more additional guest, yay, is already on the app, has books on the app. And that's what we want to talk about today. Reading experience, author experience, what this app even is, what it does, who Yearn is. So let's start with that. First, if everybody wants to introduce themselves really quickly, just a quick round robin so everybody knows who you are. Lauren, do you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. I'm Lauren Petrzylka. I am the author of 10 books, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, witchy fiction, all kinds of fun fiction romance books.
Megan, how about you?
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know if my order is the same as your all orders. So anyway, I'm Megan Haskell. Hi. I pen tales of myth, magic, and mayhem featuring kick-ass heroines and monsters of every size. So I have 3 series. They're all available on Yearn. Various flavors of fantasy, but all sort of that action adventure, fierce heroine vibe.
Awesome. And since Stephanie is here for a short second, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I do more cozy romantasy, cozy fantasy, all with really strong female leads and kind of cinnamon roll male leads.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I keep cutting in and out. I have no idea what's going on.
Internet, technology. Listen.
Yeah.
All right, Nicolette, who are you?
So I'm Nicolette. I'm author of almost over 20 novels. I write mostly epic, slow burn romantasy. So a lot of like others have said, like fierce heroines with a lot of like really slow burn romance with occasional spice and oftentimes dragons.
Also in combination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also spice with it. And all my books are on Yearn.
Awesome. All right. So all your books are on Yearn. Most of your books are on Yearn. What is Yearn? Megan, you were the first one on the app, right, from this group. Do you wanna tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I was approached, I think, in the relatively early development of the app, both for feedback and then also to see if I wanted to include my books in the program. I happen to be friends with one of the original like founding authors that was part of the program, so that was kind of how I got connected to it. But the way I'm looking at it is that it's an alternative to Kindle Unlimited that provides more social networking alongside the actual subscription book reading. So it's kind of a really nice combination of, the reader experience with that unlimited subscription service, but also very much author focused, which is what attracted me to it, because they're really trying very hard to connect authors with readers and make sure that authors aren't just churning content providers like we are on some of the other platforms, but that we actually can see the data, see how our readers are interacting with our stories, and understand more about our books in that marketplace, which is really, really valuable and very forward thinking for authors.
Awesome. How long has the rest been on the app? Anything?
I'm pretty recent. I had to take some time to cycle off of KU. I had already decided to leave Kindle Unlimited, and I actually heard about Yearn from Megan. So then I reached out to them, and once my contract started to expire with KU, I made my way over. So I was really excited to join, and I love how it's non-exclusive, so we can be a part of Yearn and still have our books published wide. So really, as an author, there's I see nothing but benefits. There's a great way, like Megan was saying, the ability to see what the readers are gravitating towards. You know, you can get kind of you can see, well, what other books did your readers, what did they like? And you can actually get kind of a cross section of what your market likes to read themselves. So you can get more feedback that way.
That is super interesting. We need to talk about that too in more detail. Stephanie, how about you? You are pretty recent, right?
I'm
Too?
always looking for more ways to reach readers, and I do want to remove myself from Kindle Unlimited and the exclusive contract that they have. And so this just seemed like another good way to get into readers' hands from a different perspective that is definitely focused more on the fantasy read, so a more targeted audience.
Yeah.
I saw it. My social media manager works with them, and so that helped because I knew that they were doing it, and I wasn't for sure exactly if my books are going to be a super good fit because I'm definitely more on the cozy fantasy, cozy side, and like I like to do a lot of retellings that don't necessarily have like magic. Like I'm a little bit different, so it's nice to see what people are gravitating to that I do actually have up because it's still limited because I have to wait a certain amount of time to pull stuff out of Kindle Unlimited that's still up there.
Yeah. So, Nicolette, are you then the only one who was not on Kindle Unlimited before?
It also took Stephanie and Megan both to tell me to join before I actually joined. Because Megan actually reached out to me right before it launched. And like I had opportunity to sign up for more launch and I just had so much going on. I was like, oh, I'll get to it. And then I saw Stephanie earlier this year and she's like, you got to get on Yearn. And I was like, all right, two people have told me I got to do it. Because I've been wide. Like I had no reason not to. And wide for anybody that's just a reader means I'm just everywhere. I've been everywhere. I'm very vocally anti Amazon exclusivity. I don't like the idea of like a big billionaire like having exclusive rights to like my books. The whole point is of me being indie is for me to have full control over my books, and somebody telling me like, oh, you can't have this anywhere else. It's like, yeah, like hell I can't. You know what I mean? Like it's my book. Like you can't tell me I'm not gonna let you pay me cents on the dollar for exclusivity. You know what I mean? Like, no thanks. Like I'd rather not. I'll just be everywhere, and I'll lose the visibility of KU and be everywhere. And it's worked out better for me, like over my like, what 13 years in the industry. I prefer it this way. So.
Yeah, I was going to say too, I was in Kindle Unlimited years ago, so I've been wide for a long time. But I think to clarify those for readers, because I think a lot of readers don't realize that if an author puts their books in Kindle Unlimited, they cannot sell their ebooks anywhere else except for Amazon. So it really limits your exposure. And Amazon is the biggest player in the game. That is, for online retail, online ebook sales, like that is where most authors make the majority of their money. But the way that they've built that is by forcing authors to not be anywhere else. And so I think a lot of us are really trying to break out of that system. I know it was true for me when I did leave Kindle Unlimited. I just didn't. I was a business major, so I finance and like diversification. Like that's what they really emphasize is that when you're investing in something, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to spread it out so that you can not have the volatility of ups and downs in sales. And so I always hated being in Kindle Unlimited for that reason. And so it's really nice to see Yearn and others coming out with alternatives that are better for authors and also better for readers. I think the reading experience is just as important as, anything else. But it takes a little bit of education to help people realize why we're not happy with Amazon.
Yeah. While I'm pulling up, because you're talking reading experience, and one of the things that I wanted to do, and I hope it's going to work now, so we'll see, is I wanted to actually show the app. So I'm, fancy technology here, so we'll see if that will work. Oh wow, it's tiny. Hang on.
While you're doing that, I just want to comment to, was it Kayi?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I agree. The author community is incredible, and I appreciate my fellow authors. So thank you for saying that because you're right. Being an author is a solitary job, but when we come together, everybody is so helpful to each other that I've seen. It's always been very positive. Just like
That-
joining Yearn, there's been a lot of help along the way.
I just wanted to say it seems like a very active community, both on the author and the reader side for Yearn. Like there's discords going on, right, where you guys can talk and where the readers can join. They are very active on social media and showing their face, like what their plans are and whatnot. And yeah, definitely, it helps with that. All right, quick overview. This is the Yearn app. You are welcome to jump in, by the way, if you want me to show anything in particular. But one of the things as a reader that I particularly like is these sections update all the time. So these Friday fresh finds change to Tuesday finds on Tuesdays, and then to new Friday books on Fridays. And then this whole section where you can find new books changes all the time. And then it's not just a reading app, which is what I find interesting. Like there is a social factor to it. So you guys were talking about, like I can see what someone else likes. Stephanie, I'm using your book as an example because it's high up on my TBR here. You can see like readers you follow, like you can follow other people and then you can see what they are reading and what they're liking and you can connect that way as well. And I find that very interesting. And then also there's more like this. Is that what you meant, similar to, I think Lauren, you said that earlier, right? With the you can see what other people are reading. Is that similar to this?
Exactly. Yes. We have in our own dashboard, we have like an author dashboard that is very transparent and we can see what people are gravitating towards. It'll give you kind of it looks similar, but it's kind of along those same lines.
Yeah. And then the coolest thing about Yearn, hang on, let me go to the discovery side, is the search. Like that is where this whole made for readers really comes in. So you can first of all search for ebook and audiobook. I don't know if we mentioned that. Like there are ebooks and audiobooks part of the subscription. That is not a very typical thing either, right? Kindle Unlimited only has ebooks, I believe, right?
Right. Audiobook would be a separate subscription. That's Audible,
Yeah.
the Audible
Yeah.
subscription.
Yeah. And then you can go for subgenres, and I'm sure they will add more as they come along. But right now you have you can select the subgenre that you want. You can select a trope. I was like, are you kidding me? When I saw that, that was like the moment where everything fell into place for me. It's like anything that you can think of: slow burn, one bed, enemies to lovers, love triangle, like whatever you vibe with right now. What fantasy creatures you want to include. I'm big into werewolf smut right now, so that was also great to find new those types of things. Spice level, which I find interesting because Stephanie mentioned that a little bit, right, with the cozy fantasy and whatnot. It's not just because it's quote unquote romantasy, it's not a spicy smut book. It's like all of you have written actual fantasy stories where romance just happens to be a part of with differing spice levels. And I love that that is so well featured here as well.
And each book will also tell you exactly what the spice level is
Yeah.
so that you can always find a book that you're comfortable with or whatever you're specifically looking for.
Yeah. I'm just clicking through here a little bit. Like you can sort by so many things. It is ridiculous. So let's look at a book real quick to show what Lauren was saying. If I just grab this one, that looks very spicy. Indeed, it is a 4 spice level. So you see it right there, which is kind of interesting. And then you also see what genres it belongs to and what tropes it has and all that fun stuff.
It's nice to have that kind of detail on the page too, because a lot of readers are mood readers, and it's like sometimes you're in the mood for something that's more plot heavy, and sometimes you're in the mood for something more smut heavy. So it's like when you know up front, okay, this is a 4 pepper, you know, like, okay, that's what I am in the mood for, and you're not having to guess just based on a blurb or like trying to sift through other because like everybody's definition of like smut is different. So like if the author's telling you this is what it is, like
Yeah.
that's a better indication than somebody being like, this was tame, and then you read it and it's got the most depraved stuff you've ever seen. You know,
Yes.
like because it's like everybody's different. So it's like, and like the more the community gets involved, the more like the better the search functionality of this app is going to get.
Yeah.
Like it's got like it's built reader first. Where a lot of these I feel like are built Like Kindle Unlimited specifically is like incidentally like help like how do I put this? It's like an incidental product for Amazon. It was not it's never been their main focus. They don't care to put a lot of functionality into it. It's like a bare minimum viable product. So they don't care if you don't know what you're getting into because they just in their mind they're like, well, you get unlimited anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't care if you burn through books and borrow a billion books and return them. And you know what I mean? They're not they don't need you to stay on the app. They just want you to have that additional hook into their ecosystem to keep you as a like a spending money with them. So they don't
Yeah.
care about your actual experience. Where Yearn needs you to care about the experience, and they need the readers to care about the experience. So it's more reader focused than a lot of apps like Kindle Unlimited is.
Yeah. And I want to address like what Kai is saying here with ends up adding the filters my story will need. So first of all, Kai is an author as well. And her book is launching June, correct me if I'm wrong, Kai, June 2nd, I believe, right? And she applied for Yearn as well because she heard it through us talking and wants to add it as well. And with the hoping that it will end up ending to add up what? That they will add the filters you need. Oh my goodness. That is one of the things that I also really like about Yearn. It's who the owners are, who the developer is. You can talk to these people and you can provide feedback. If they're adding it immediately or, a month later or 2 months later, whatever it fits on their roadmap, they're listening and they want to build something that works for authors and for readers. So I've been with them since the beta and have provided a bit of beta feedback and then continue to provide feedback after. And they're incredibly great with listening and understanding and trying and, really building something that makes sense for all of us.
And if I can chime in also on the Discord server, there's even a section for features request.
Yeah.
So you can always join the server and say, hey, I'd love to see this. Whether you're an author or a reader, anybody is welcome to comment.
Yeah.
I was going to say too, like specifically on the subgenres and the tropes, one of the kind of nice things is that in the Amazon ecosystem, you've probably noticed that there's a lot of blending of the lines between what things actually qualify for the different subgenres or the different categories. The kind of nice thing about Yearn is that while we as the authors are able to say, okay, this book has these tropes in it, we're limited actually to how many tropes we're allowed to pick and how many categories we're allowed to pick. And the benefit of that, it seems at first like, well, if this book qualifies for all these things, you should be able to put it in all of them. But actually, the benefit is that you have to kind of stack rank what is the most important as the author for the reader to like understand what this book is about. So you're really picking out the most relevant items for that book instead of, well, this has all the things that every reader always loves, and then you get this like broad category that is no longer really a category. So having those kind of limitations is actually, I think, a huge benefit for readers that you won't notice as a reader necessarily, except that the categories and the tropes that are identified are going to be tighter. And I think that's going to help you find books a lot easier and a lot better.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Did you, from an author perspective, from a just joining, onboarding, and just being with you, and I mean they're around since February, right? February 14th actually is when they launched. So how has your experience been so far from an author perspective? Just the day to day looking at things, the onboarding, the working with them.
They're great. I mean, honestly, like they are so open and willing to listen to our feedback and the kinds of things that would actually be helpful. I mean, I don't know, for me, I was very early in the process, so I literally had like a Google form to fill out. but it worked. It was relatively smooth sailing. I think they've cleaned that up now, so it's even easier to get your books into their system. But because they're so excited really about making it a good experience for both sides of the book equation, I do feel like you're not talking into a void when you're trying to communicate with them. They're really very responsive and very good about, getting back to you and incorporating your feedback into what they're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the user interface is really clean. I uploaded once they had like a back end, and it is an easier upload process than every other like aggregator I use or like every other place I upload my books at. It's when it was like usually like with as many books as I have, it usually takes me like a full day to upload stuff like that because like it'll just take forever. Like it was so easy and fast. Like I was shocked. It like because that was part of the reason I like kept dragging my feet out. I was like, oh, I got a lot to move over, and then I ended up doing it, and it took no time at all. And I was like, oh, well, I should have done it sooner because it was like it was stupid easy. Like and they're so communicative. Like on the back end, like we get regular communications from like the author liaison, and it's like they just they're very active in like they're invested in the author community, which is what I really appreciate because it's like a lot of times it's like you're more the product than you are like part of the community, and it feels like you're part of the community.
And to answer Kai's question about the Discord, just jumping back really quick, yes, you can join the Discord if your book is in pre-release, because authors and readers are able to join. Everyone can join, as far as I understand it.
I can send you the link after this, Kai, if you want to join. Also, hey, Mark. Welcome. Mark is also a friend, and he and I talk every now and then. He actually started reading romance not too long ago and is one of those people who realized romance is actually a really good genre. So you're at the right spot, my friend. Lauren, how about you? Author experience so far? You are also still relatively fresh, but how has your experience been so far?
It's been really fantastic. Like Megan was saying, there's a human there. When you message them, you hear back from a person, and they're very responsive. And like Nicolette was saying, with the upload process being easy, I found it to be really easy. I'm also confident in my book quality in terms of my ebook works. It's the thing that is already functional on other sites. So my stuff is ready to go. So this would be something where you definitely want to have your book vetted first. Make sure that your ebook is functional, because I would bet that if you have to resubmit, it's got to go through actual people, whereas these other platforms, they're all automated. It's just a quick system check, and it's very disconnected from people. So with this, I think you want to make sure that your ebook is ready to go, but then it's really, really easy.
Yeah. It's I have no experience with that, but it seems to be a process from what I'm hearing and reading.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, see, Mark's wife did it and he loved it. Great. Awesome. Did you have a chance to read on the platform already too? Did you try out what the reading experience looks like?
I did. I enjoy it. I'm an author and a reader on the platform, so I really love the process. It is so fun because I left Kindle Unlimited not just as an author, but also as a reader. I was a KU subscriber, and I was like, you know what? I'm really done with this. Full done in every sense of the word. So I joined Yearn as a reader, and I'm really enjoying that process, just like how you can use the tropes as a mood reader, like Nicolette was talking about, being able to isolate the book that you're looking for that way is really fun.
I'll say too, I think for reading on my phone in particular, like if I'm out and about and I'm stuck in the car or something and I need something to do, I'll read on my phone. I like their phone app in particular, better than some of the other, e-reader and subscription apps for the phone. So if you're a big phone reader, I think it's quite good. I really like it. I have not read it on other devices, to be honest. It's mostly just been on my phone. But from that alone, I can imagine that the other, if you're reading on other devices, it's a good app. It's a really good, well thought through reading experience.
I'm using it on an iPad mini. I can confirm it's as good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I haven't used it yet. I'm not a big ebook reader in general, but I'm also like way deep in editing hell. So it's like by the end of the day, so
Fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough. The other thing also that I didn't have a chance to try yet, but that I'm really excited about is because it has audiobooks and ebooks on, they have an immersive feature. So you can read the ebook and then you can put it aside, switch to the audiobook, do whatever, your chores that you
Yeah,
need to do on weekends, right? And then once you're done with them, you can sit back on the couch and continue reading the ebook. I find that very, very fascinating. And it's not with switching apps because that never worked for me on Kindle. Like that immersive function between Kindle ebook and Audible audiobook never worked for me, and for whatever reason. But I'm really excited for this feature here. Awesome. All right. Um, did you have any favorites and features so far? Like anything where you're like, wow, I've never seen this before. I mean, we've talked about the search a little bit and the ability to filter down very specifically. Anything where you're like, oh, I've never seen that with another reading app, or I really find this fascinating. Anything that we've missed, didn't talk about yet?
I've been looking around at the app. I haven't read anything on it, but I've been looking around on the app just to like understand it from the reader perspective. And they have this functionality where you can just like randomly roll for a book.
Yes.
Like, and I
Oh,
think
fun.
that's so good because, like, especially if you have like that indecision fatigue and you just have so much on your TBR and you're like, I don't know where to start. That's so nice to be like, Tell me what to do." And it's like, and then it takes away that like having to hunt for something, and you could like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that on a reading app before, which I think is so great.
I haven't played with that yet. Is there a way, can you say, like, give me a random book, but within these constraints, like within this trope or this whatever? Is that part
Mine
of that
only
randomness?
Mine only showed me stuff that was within what my preferences I set when I set up my app. So if it's like, so I like said I only like these like it only showed me books within like my own preferences. So I'm assuming they're not going to be like, if I like I don't like I didn't put like paranormal romance as a preference. It didn't show me any paranormal romance. You know what I mean? And it's like I can't remember if when I set my preferences it asked for heat level, but it definitely showed me stuff that I would read. Like when I like did it a few times and I was like, oh yeah, this is all stuff that I would have read because it's like all within what I had said I was interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that is a fun feature, most definitely. And it's not helpful if you already have a big TBR, because if you just play around and keep
Oh yeah.
clicking, you'll add more to your TBR, 100%. Because they're at like over 1,000 books at that point for the app as well, I believe, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a small app at this point. The other thing too is it's indie focused, right? Like it's very much indie authors and made for them. There's no like trade published big author names in there as far as I know. And the other thing, they are vetting it for AI, that the books that are included in there are not written with AI, don't have whatever covers with AI, etc. It's also one of the big things that I've seen.
Yeah, which is huge.
With 1,000 books, oh, that I mean, I would have to have 1,000 books on my TBR then, probably.
And I think that's also another benefit of the differences between the platforms is that there's really nothing eliminated from Amazon. You know, there's a lot of books on there. There's a lot of good books, but there's a lot of, I don't want to say, there's a lot of books that just are on there, and it fills up the
Yeah.
platform, and it makes visibility difficult as well when you're getting all of these other books kind of crowding the space when they are not of quality content. They're not thoughtfully written. They're not edited. They're not, books that have gone through a full beta team.
Out of curiosity, since you guys joined later than I did, I know originally it was an invitation only application process to get authors on the platform. I'm fairly certain they're still doing the same like due diligence on the authors that are actually there. Like you have to fill out an app, like a full application,
Yeah,
right?
you have
Like
to apply.
it's like a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
you
is
can't.
definitely stringent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely it's definitely curated, which is also what I like about it because there's so many like Kindle Limited is just like a giant bucket and you just anybody can throw whatever they want in the bucket, and this feels much more intentional and curated. Like even the way they're doing like the Fresh Tuesday finds and Fresh Friday finds, like that's huge because it's like it creates a level of trust between like the platform and people that want to use the platform, because it's like I know you're putting in time to find quality stuff, and you're only going to give me stuff I actually want. So I think it's like it's designed in my mind in the ideal way for something like this. Like I want stuff where you're like, yeah, this is something quality and we've approved it and it's been vetted by humans, not like a random like algorithm checks it and says, okay, it meets the bare minimum requirements. It's like, no, we are like checking to make sure this is like an actual person, they're writing actual books and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, Kai says it, poorly edited AI crap. Yes, there's none of those.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and it's also not just an app, right? Like they share on their socials, they blast it out on like TikTok and Instagram. Hey, those are our new Friday authors. They have a regular cadence where every Friday they are announcing new authors or new books with new authors and all that stuff. So there's a whole PR machine around it. I don't know, for the lack of a better word, right? But it's not just, oh, you upload it for the app and then you have to figure it out yourself. No, they are helping you with all these things as well. How many authors does Yearn have? It sounds like it's getting pretty big. I've only seen like 1,100 books. I don't know how much. It's typically authors have multiple books on there. So I don't know how many authors it is, but it's like over 1,000 books at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We
A
can
lot.
see some things on the author portal, and that can help us kind of understand, well, this is the pool right now of subscribers, or this is what's happening. But I don't think that we have a total to show how many authors there are. The platform is definitely growing, and that's to the reader's benefit. The more authors that we have on there, the better. It's not a sandbox. It's not limited to the number of people that can join. And it's only going to improve the platform the more great authors that we have.
Yeah, and especially if they keep it in that sense of, oh, we're not just like adding, the bigger it gets, we're not just adding and catapulting everybody in there, but this combination of, okay, I don't know how many it is, but like every Friday we introduce 5 authors. So every week we're adding this many more authors, so that is kind of like a consistent cadence and also doable for a reader as well, and doesn't get overwhelming for the reader too. Yeah.
It does seem to be metered to be, I think it's 4 authors every Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something around that, definitely. Like if you look on the like Instagram carousels and swipe through, it's always around that. Yeah. That makes sense. Then from an author perspective, you guys talked a little bit about what you can see in the back end with like what other books are people reading. How is it in general for you? Like how much information, as much as you can tell? I know there's, you can't tell all the details, but how is it from an author perspective, getting insights, understanding, where your revenue is coming from and how everything works? How is that built?
This is, I think, the first platform I've ever been on that specifically calls out like your read through, right? So how many readers are moving on to your second book? That gives you the data to say, okay, your readers are stopping at X percentage through the book on average. And like, there's so much more data, which is so helpful. And as far as I know, there is no other platform that gives that level of insight for authors. And all of that feeds into making our next book better.
Yeah.
Or, like we can use that and say, oh, well, at that percentage point, this is what happened in the story. So clearly that's too much of a breather for the reader. We got to amp it up. So it makes our writing better going forward too. I think it's a very, like, as far as transparency goes, it is a very transparent system that they are, again, working really hard to make sure that authors are getting more information, better data than anywhere else that's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll say like percentage of hook to the next book, and that's just so valuable to have.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, no, you're okay. I was just gonna say I was telling Fiend that saw her reading Dragon's Temptation. Like I could see her progress as she read. Like because it like and you don't usually get that with this kind of model. You don't get this data from anybody. You have to like extrapolate your own findings. Like if you sell book 2, you have to assume that they bought book 1, but this one it's like you can tell specifically like where they came from and like where they're at even in the book and page reads, so you can like tell, and it like gives you like a like data about like where, like Megan was saying, like where they stop. So it's like if there is something that's holding people back from continuing a book, you can like analyze that and like improve going forward.
Just to clarify, you didn't see my name next to the pages, right?
No.
Just for readers now, like, oh my God, the author sees
No,
what I'm
no.
reading and which spicy scene I'm on.
No.
And which spicy scene I'm reading for the 3rd time because it was so good, No. It was coincidence that you knew it was me.
That you told me you were, and I saw the page reads going up at the same time you were reading it. Is this all?
Yeah.
I just knew you personally, so you know what I mean. It wasn't like it was like it didn't have your name attached to it or anything like that.
No. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, it's just that we talk too much is really what it comes down to.
We're all oversharing with each other is what it is.
Yeah.
I have to stop telling what I'm reading. Okay, got it.
But like with Kindle Unlimited, we can see how many pages are read on a day, and it will have bar graphs and stuff like that. But if there's multiple people reading, we can't really tell the difference. We can't tell if that person is the person that went on to read the next book. All of that data is just kind of blank. We can only see, oh, well, this number of pages was read on this book plus this number of pages on another book. We don't have any data further than that. It is updated very frequently, and you can watch that, but other than that, you really don't know. So it's really nice to have that different kind of perspective on readership. And also, we're paid for pages read. And on Yearn, we're paid for the time that someone spends to read the book. So people can trick the system on KU. They can fast flip a book, and that's count as read. Whereas with Yearn, the authors are rewarded for writing a quality book. Someone that takes their time to read the book, that's what we actually are getting paid for. If someone fast flips it, they're not interested in it. They're just kind of trying to get through it. So it's really, I think it's a great way to reward writing a great book.
Yeah. And as a reader too, I find like knowing that makes me actually want to appreciate the book more, right? Like, because I know there's this, especially with audiobooks, there are people who can listen to it on like 2-3 times speed. I don't know how people are doing this. I have no idea. But, like you can slow down. You can actually take a step back and really enjoy the book and enjoy the story. And you're rewarding the author with that, right? You're helping out an indie author, which is something that I as a reader find very important too. So that is good to hear.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's an emphasis on quality, which is what I like about it. They're emphasizing quality storytelling, not just like quantity storytelling, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Amazon is trying to up its game about data available to authors. I wonder if it was spurred on by Yearn doing things. I mean, I'm pretty sure the people by Yearn would be excited if Amazon would be worried about it at this point. Yeah. Interesting. I don't think it's still as much, right? Like, I don't think Amazon has still, even if they're upping their game, you guys know that better than I do, but my gut tells me it's probably still not as detailed as what you guys were just sharing.
I haven't seen anything changing, and honestly, just having been in their platforms for so long, I don't see them changing anything significantly. They're very cagey about their data. They don't want to share that with anybody because it's like, if they gave it to authors, it would be opening a back door to stuff they don't want, like trade secret stuff they don't want. Yeah. And there's already like,
well, so they say. I think it's an excuse.
That's what they say, yeah. But like, I don't agree with them. But like, they are very like weird about that, like that kind of thing. Like, because there's even people that try to like extrapolate information from scraping the front end data stuff, and they shut that down pretty regularly. So, like, I don't see them giving any more granular information, like to the degree that Yearn is, just because they like keeping that secret because then
Yeah.
they can do whatever they want, and then we can't call them out when they like do like shenanigans with page reads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know
Right,
what I
like
mean?
the number of subscribers they have. We don't actually know how many subscribers, but we can guess that that subscriber count has gone down because our price per page read went down by 25% in just after December. So that's paid by the KDP Select Fund. Why did that go down?
Yeah. Well,
All
and
that's an unknown.
that's the other thing that always bothered me about KDP Select or Kindle Unlimited from the payout section was that they don't give any insight into why they reduced the author pool, right? Like there's nothing that says this month we had 1,000 subscribers discontinue or whatever, right? Like, and I'm sure their numbers are much bigger than that, but whatever. But
You would hope.
yeah, so they can say from a management perspective, oh, you know what, we're a little short this quarter, so we're gonna just cut back on that author pool a little bit. I mean, they won't care that they're 10 cents less or whatever it is. It's like, no, actually we do.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's like we can't see it.
Yeah,
So
there's
if
no
we don't
insight.
know, and then their position of comfort of thinking that we have little other option, which is not true. It's like, well, there are other options, and fortunately, Yearn is now an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like to see that too, because it's not just Kindle Unlimited, it's Audible too, right? There was this whole conversation, was it the end of last year, early this year, where they changed how they're paying authors for Audible books. Like if you're not part of the Plus catalog, which you have to be exclusive for again, right? Same thing as with the Kindle Unlimited books. If you're not part of the Plus catalog, you get a lot less, I don't know exactly what the percentage was anymore, but a lot less share for your ebook than if you are part of the Plus catalog. And then just this whole concept of exclusivity, I think Lauren, you told me that, right? With it's just for indie authors. Trade published authors are not exclusive, like a whatever, Brendan Sanderson or whatever. They can be wherever they want, including Kindle Unlimited. It doesn't apply to them, which is even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk a little bit. We've talked a lot about the features and everything. Let's talk a little bit detailed. So how can a reader sign up for Yearn, or also an author for that matter? There's a website, of course. Every app has a website. I'm blending this in here real quick. So if you're an author that is interested in joining a romance, fantasy, romantasy, paranormal romance, cozy fantasy, there are probably more subgenres that I just don't know yet. Same website. If you're a reader who is interested in that, you can find the app through that website and further information. And then for readers, it's $9.99, $9.95, something like that per month right now, right? Yeah. And then completely unlimited, so you can listen to as many audiobooks as you want. You can read as many ebooks as you want. There's no limitation whatsoever on that. You can even download them for offline, like if you're on an airplane or whatever, right, traveling, you can download them for offline use if you want to do that. And it's super flexible. So again, no limitations like with Audible's monthly thing where you can then buy one audiobook and that's it. Essentially none of that here.
Yeah.
And then there are also codes. So if you are interested in reading that, my code, I'm an affiliate with them, so disclaimer here, is in the description below. And then I forgot to ask my lovely authors here to send me their codes, so I will do that after that and then add their codes as well in the description, so you can decide who you want to support, one of these amazing authors or this amazing person here. So I'll add that to that as well. That gives you, those codes give you 50% off the first month of Yearn. So you can test it out, play around with it, see what amazing books are on there. You just saw some examples when I was showing it earlier. And yeah, get reading. Join us in the Discord community. Sorry, Nicolette, you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say value wise, $9.99 for audio, unlimited audio and unlimited ebooks is like less than half of what you would pay for that same thing with an Audible subscription
Yeah.
and a Kindle Unlimited subscription. So it's a crazy value for like
Yeah.
what you have access to.
Yeah. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's currently $13, so $12.99 for Kindle Unlimited, which is ebook only, right? Then Audible, I think they changed their thing recently. They are $8 something, but then you get a book every other month and access to the Plus catalog, which is limited. And then it's
Yeah.
$14.99 for one per
Like,
month,
Yeah.
something like that, right? Something in that realm.
Yeah.
And then same thing, you get one is yours, and then you get access to the Plus catalog, which, I mean, similar to Kindle Unlimited, I've seen more and more, especially indie authors, go away from because they don't want that exclusivity anymore, and they want to be paid properly for their book, as they should, to be
Yeah,
very fair,
exactly.
as they should. And then Rakuten, how does that work? There's a Kobo thing too. I'm not familiar with that one. Do you know that by any chance?
I don't
Yes, I'm in Kobo. I love Kobo
the price on
actually as
that.
well, but I don't remember the price on it. I think it's $7.99 for the ebook only, and if you do or ebook or audiobook only, I think, and I could be wrong. And then I think it's like
Oh,
10-ish. Do you have the
Let's look
number?
it up
I
real
think
quick.
it's actually $9.99 for Kobo Plus. You mean for the
Yeah.
unlimited reading
Yeah.
program on Kobo?
So
Yeah.
ebook is $7.99, excess ebook is $7.99, and then plus read and listen is $9.99, but I don't know if there's a limitation. And then only listen is $7.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're a very good subscription program as well, but their search functionality is not as good.
Well,
Yeah.
very fair, and it's limited to Kobo, right? It only functions. You have to have a Kobo e-reader, otherwise it.
No, they have an app as well.
Oh, they have an app too. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been on and off in Kobo Plus as a reader myself, and I read it on my iPad. So
Fair. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And the
But
Kobo
again, but
itself, you
finding
can
books on
sideload.
there is a lot harder.
That's true.
Total
It's a difficult
disclosure. Like I
level.
love Kobo, but finding books on there is a lot harder.
Yeah, you kind of have to know what you already want
Yeah.
when you're going on to Kobo to like find that book. Because that library function it's a lot harder to get through. But then also having a Kobo, I believe you could put a book on there pretty easily, whereas the Kindle is now pretty locked up. You can't easily sideload things, whereas the Kobo you can sideload.
Well, with Kindle you can sideload, but then it gets that Kindle encryption on top of it. So when I get an ARC as an ebook or whatever, because I'm a Kindle, like for e-reader, I have a Kindle Scribe. I still have that send to Kindle ability from like if I receive the EPUB as an email or something, I can still send it to my Kindle, but then it gets that encryption. So if I ever would want to get it off with Calibra or something, I cannot do anything with it. Like it's completely, whereas in the past I was able to download the actual EPUB and then, use it somewhere else.
Yeah. A Kobo is much more open.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to sideload something and then not be able to transition elsewhere after that.
Yeah. So, and with Yearn, just because the question also comes up, is it DRM free? So it's in the app. So the ebooks and the audiobooks, it's all locked inside the app. So it's not like an e-reader where you can load other things into the app. Like it's its own
Its own
ecosystem.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about DRM free about audiobooks. I don't know if anyone of you knows that.
I can't remember.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter, right? If it's just in the app and you cannot download it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that means it's. I can never remember the difference, to be quite honest. Like, I don't pay close attention to it, but I'm also like one of the weird outliers where I don't really care. Like if somebody pirates my book, like go ahead. You know what I mean? Like
If you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the audiobook, like someone cannot download the audiobook to their phone and then, share it with their friends and just, pirate
think
it or
so.
whatever. That doesn't,
No,
as far
I'm
as I
pretty sure
know,
not.
I haven't found that feature yet, and I don't think that's how it works either. Like you're staying in the app and that's where you are. Again, you have the option to say, make it available offline. So if you don't have internet, but you want to continue reading the book like in an airplane, right, then you can do that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they cannot download the MP3 KI. That is not an option.
No.
Oh, by the way, when I say download for offline use, you still open the app. So you're not downloading it onto your phone or on your iPad. You're just making it available so the app doesn't need an internet connection. All right. Anything else we're missing? I mean, it is a pretty cool app. There's lots to talk about. Is there something that we are missing that we haven't talked about yet?
Don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, The consensus is go sign up, try it out, especially if you are a romance fantasy fan. There's some really cool books out there. Like I've been reading Romantasy or romance fantasy, whatever you want to call it, for a while now, and I've not seen a lot of the books that are on there, which is a really, really good sign. So lots of new stuff to discover, which is exciting. Kai, thank you so much for joining. If you have any other questions at a later point, you know how to find me, and then I'll connect you worst case, and then you can ask your questions as well. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for, on a Sunday talking about Yearn and the new reading app and something new and exciting for authors and readers.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you
Always
for
happy.
having us.
Yeah, this has been a fun conversation, and it's
An
nice to
important
see the
one
excitement
too.
behind the app.
Yeah, an important one too. With all those changes coming, this is an important change, and I'm very, very excited about it.
And it's great to have a new app where authors feel supported,
Yes.
where we're being heard, because that was a big thing that was missing before. And having a place where our books can flourish and then we can discuss things amongst each other. We've got the Discord server. There's so many benefits of
Yeah.
being on the Yearn app.
As a reader too, FYI. Like as a reader, it feels like this is made for us as well. They're having a good balance with that. Awesome. Well, thanks again. Thanks everybody for joining. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to have more amazing conversations like this and join us for other ones. Next interview that is coming up on my channel is tomorrow already. It's a recorded interview with Casey Griffin, editor of Women of the Weird West, author of Melinda West Gunslinger. So join me for that one. And then I'll see you all soon. Thank you.